be here at our peer forum, and I'm looking forward to our session together. Without any further ado, I will get us started as your host today and really explore, okay, what are we discussing as Christoph moves the slide to the next one. And once again, thank you very much, Assisa Foundation, for really making this part of your impact, your drive to participate in advancing our entrepreneurs in this beloved country, this beloved continent in our world. And today's topic is really about my relationship with money. And then confirm how to get most. Talk about how do we get the most out of our coaching sessions? Make the most out of it. Zianda, I see you. And also share what works for you when networking. Share. Networking is one of my most exciting, fun things. Sometimes you do it doesn't make sense. Down the line, something clicks. I'm a big believer in that. And then identify ways to stay connected. And then lastly, we'll do the Busy Bucks wallet and have a conversation around that. Yes, so that's our day. So I hope you're all here and ready. And of course, we're going to talk a little bit with Usisno Vuyo, who will tell us about the implementation as our implementation lead, where we're at, what's going on, and we're nearly at the end. All right, Usisno Vuyo, as you're coming on, tell me.
Yes. Hi, everyone. We're nearly at the end. But before I do that, let me just say hi to Lerato from Assisa Foundation. Let me say hi to Naledi, to Maki, to Ipileng, to Leti, and to Nati. I see you. We see you. Hi to everyone. And so where are we? We are almost at the end. We are in October, towards the end of October. We have done 2 peer forums. You have done 3 coaching sessions. Can you believe it? We have done 6 workshops. Wow. Next slide. So we are only left with 2 workshops. And the workshops that we've done, looking after my well-being and SMART goals, that's what we started with. We did the Unleashing the Great Entra in Me by our Honorable Mr. Sifiso Ndwandwe, Refining My Business Model, presented by our Honorable Training Lead, Mr. Christoph Oosthuizen, Increasing My Profits with Accurate Costing and Pricing, by Patricia, our coach, and Ensuring Business Health, also by her. That was such a good one. And then Attracting the Right Customers with My Marketing Activities, that was done by myself last week. Now, the next 2 ones are just going to be even extra special. Compliance. We know. So, at EPI, we know very well how not easy, how challenging compliance can be. So we are going to have someone presenting it who is going to present it in a fun way. So please look forward to that and don't miss it. And we are also hoping to have a banker who's very experienced in compliance for banking. So it's gonna be fun, and that's next week. And then the other one, the next one, 8, is a new one on the L+EARN #Bees 2024. And that is about selling and pitching. It is great because it is going to prepare you for the closeout event where you are going to be doing your videos, and it's going to be competition, and you're going to get an award. So please start preparing your mind for that, how to pitch your business. So even as we do what we are going to do today, be learning as in the breakaway sessions. Know that even though it's a breakaway sessions, you are speaking to fellow entrepreneurs, but in actual fact, you are helping yourself gain confidence to speak in front of people. You're helping yourself gain confidence to sell what you do. So it's going to be very important, that pitching one. And we have other things that are prepared for you, which I'm not going to share now. Next slide, please. Okay. So remember, all we do is centered on the business model canvas. All that we do, you've done how to cost and price. You've done, just me and Tobega right now, we're talking about revenue streams. We've done marketing, which focuses on the relationship between you and your client, and how you can attract those clients and how you can maximize that relationship by helping yourself stand out from your competitors with a good value proposition. Okay, that makes you findable. They must be able to find you. Okay, so key activities. What key activities do you do every day? What key resources do you need? And again, it's quite important to be able to say, sometimes as your business grows, you need more resources. And that becomes the key to your business growth, being able to acquire those key resources. And that is why learning how to be compliant is important, so that you can be fundable, your business can be fundable. Next slide, please. So the business model canvas is very important. And I just want to repeat what Christoph said last week. He said, if you haven't revisited your business model, then there is something missing. Something missing. Go back and revisit your business model. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much, Sis Nomvuyo. And on that note, now we're going to go back into a little bit of coaching. Our lead coach, Butsiso Ndwandwe. How's it going? What's going on? How are our amazing entrepreneurs arriving? Are they showing up? What is going on? Over to you.
Yes, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone, again. Always very exciting to have this weekly encounter with you and experience the energy, sometimes silent, sometimes wild, but all the same, very exciting. It's going well. You are on your next cycle of coaching, and I'd like to believe that all of you have already set up the appointments with their coaches, and that all is going well. And some of you, I hope they have already had their coaching sessions already. But I've got 2 questions for you that I'd like you to answer for me. And this is a personal reflection that each one of you needs to make. Go to the chat function and just share with us an insight or a practice that you using for your coaching sessions, for your coaching interventions, that is working for you. And then share with us one positive result that you're getting out of that. So I'd like you to share with us, what do you do in applying the coaching interventions, the coaching insights that you get from your coach? What have you done, and what results have you seen? Please go to the chat function. This is what I have taken from my coaching sessions and used it, and this is the result that I'm getting. please do that. Each one of us, go to the church function, share that experience. Some of you may have maybe particular challenges with their coaching or problems that they would like sorted. Please, you can place those as well and say, I have this issue or challenge that would like sorted. You can do that as well so that you feel, we want to make sure that the coaching experience that you have is one that really adds value to yourself and to the business. So please, two things. What insight or what practice are you doing that comes from the learnings that you're learning from your coaching intervention, right? And what results are you starting to see in your business that shows that this practice that you have started is adding value to you in person, but also or in your person, but also to your business. I'd like to see more comments there, please. I'd like your hands to be typing away and sharing those practices that you're implementing in your business that comes from your coaching interventions, but also the results that you're starting to see in your business. But also, I've asked you that if you have a particular problem that you'd like addressed that relates to your coaching, to the coaching exercise, please state it there so that we, myself and Amanda, can find ways to resolve that for you. I don't see comments. Do I see comments? Yes, I see there are 60, 70 of us here. I'd like to see at least 70 inputs that are coming through. I'll just ask maybe another 45 seconds of silence while we type in. Then I hand over to Matt Tobega. Patience, virtue from my coach. Thank you very much, Msawa Nkosi. Thank you. Remember, we want to see the results as well, not just what you do, but what results have you started to notice in your person, but also in your business. It could be in both places or in one of those places. Control of my cash flow. Thank you, Tando. Handling finances. Wandile, thank you. Documenting every rand. Thank you. Financial recording. Kansane, thank you. Revenue streams. Tapsele, thank you. And diarizing your task. By the way, diarizing task is important. I have had coaching interventions where entrepreneurs come in and they have even forgotten about the appointment that they were supposed to have, because diarizing task is important. Record keeping. Thank you very much. Please continue. If you reflect on more as we continue the rest of the day, we would like to hear more in this area because we want to make sure that the coaching intervention. Thank you very much. Over back to you, Mayor Tobega.
Great, thank you very much, Butsviso, and it's great to see you now thinking about and reflecting on that. And we move on swiftly and see now what has happened in the WhatsApp chat. So there was a question that was put, and this is the conversation. I don't know if while Amanda is coming on, if there's been anything that stood out, or any of our other colleagues. The question was, what is money to you? What is money to you? Is money a friend to you? Is it an enemy? Is it a colleague? What came out there? What's going on in the WhatsApp? Or was this a question that nothing happened? Hey, Amanda, tell me, tell me, tell me. I want to hear. I would love. And if you haven't responded, I guess just put it in the chat and let us know.
Yeah, there was a very low response rate to the question,
Mm,
which is unusual for this crowd. You guys are normally very responsive to the questions, but I hope at least you gave it some thought, even if you didn't share your thoughts on the WhatsApp platform.
aha. So it's one of those questions that probably had everyone feel, oof, this is an interesting one, you know. Um, it is an interesting one, actually. Just the other day, I was listening to John. He was talking about money, actually, on LinkedIn. I'll share it with one of you what he said, uh, and see what happens around that. So that was interesting for me to hear. Like your relationship with money. Is it your friend? Is it your enemy? You know? So I love this question. What do you think for you, Amanda? Do you want to answer it or you'll be like, hey, I'm going to skip
Sure.
this question?
No, I thought about it a lot because, our relationship with money is a complicated thing.
Mm,
Sometimes I've only got a relationship with my wallet, and and not that there's not always money inside it. But yeah, it's a big one. I think I'm learning to create a friendship with money and a respect that
mm,
opening the flow so that I've got the ability to receive and working hard for that.
mm. Interesting. Thank you. Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, Snumbu, what is your thought around that?
My thought is we have to understand what a friend is, what a colleague is, what are the differences. For us to answer, well, we have to think through what's a friend, what's a colleague, what's a boss,
Mm,
what's a spectator, you know,
mm,
and therefore, what happens? So, I'll give you an example, practical example.
mm.
So, if money is your boss,
Yeah.
then you just do what it tells you to do. Hmm? You just do what it tells you to do. It doesn't matter anything else. If money is sometimes we can even make money our God. Yeah? So
Mm-hmm.
when money is our God, then everything else stops. Everything else stops. We prioritize making money more than relationships. More
Mm-hmm.
than anything else, we prioritize making money. Sometimes we even prioritize it more than coaching. We have a coaching session, but because because there's a deal that I need to sign off. Instead of saying to the coach, can we reschedule? And now, no, 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 no. Now it's the money, because you're seeing the money, it's pulling the strings. Everything
Yeah.
else goes out of the mind. It is
Yeah.
money that is being your God. So it is really just understanding, what do we mean? When it's a colleague, what do you mean? When it's a friend, because friendships, there's an emotion attached to that. So we have to
Mm-hmm.
understand what actually we mean. So when you attach money, emotion to money, what does it mean? When we say it's a friend, there is a reciprocity. Reciprocity. Yeah.
Hey, it's long.
It's,
When I'm not.
okay. Yeah.
Amazing.
I think we can.
Thank you. So yeah, and it's interesting to see the responses in the chat. But with that, it gives you now all an opportunity to go into your breakout and we explore this a little more, a little deeper. And really, in the breakout, you'll discuss me and my relationship with money. So, really, the question that you'll explore together, always remember when you go into the breakout room, immediately, guys, use the time, start, unmute, hi everyone, and you move, right? Don't waste time. Don't wait for someone else to start because that might not happen. And so make sure you do that. And what we will be discussing in the breakout is that question. So we'll put the question in the chat and introduce yourself for 10 seconds. Each of you get a chance to share what is money to you and then discuss what are the new beliefs around that. So let us know, and therefore you're able to respond to that. And really, I'd love to hear a few voices. So what new habits can you use to have a positive relationship with money? What allows business to grow and create personal wealth? So, from what you heard from someone else, what are the new habits that you can develop? Oh, there we go. Look at all these people being silly and funny. George, saying, you're the only one left behind. Oli is even an avatar as well. While that is happening, can someone unmute and tell us what came out of the breakout? What new habits can you use to have a positive relationship with money? Let me know. What room can we have? Who's ready to answer? Oh, George found it. George has joined. Christine has now switched on her video. Over to you, Christine. And you're unmuted.
Hi, everyone.
Hi.
So I was in group 10,
Mhm.
and of which I had a problem because for quite a while I was alone there. But then finally, Rosina joined me.
Perfect.
We discussed that the new positive habits we might have with money is, first of all, saving money.
Mm.
Because I never do that. And both of us, we've realized that it's crippling our business, not saving our money. And then number two is stop spending money emotionally when it clicks. Because once it pops up in the phone, you're and you're thinking of everything, spoiling yourself and doing all of that. And it's not a good thing. So those are the new habits that we talked about in room 10. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you, Christine. Wonderful. Anybody else?
Hello.
Hi,
Hi,
Zianda.
it's Yanda. Yes, I was on room 8. So me and my friend, we said, I mean, for me, I said, money for me, it is like an enemy to me because I'm a high risk taker, a very high risk taker. And for my other friend, she said to me, she doesn't know what is it like for her, but she said, "No, it's like what, but I can't remember. Okay, but the habits that we talked about, we said you need to budget on time and you must separate your personal budget to your business budget, and you must make sure that you are compliant. It's either personal or business wise. Yeah, and the last thing, you must spend your money wise, very wise, like make sure of your goals that you achieve them. Just yeah, okay, it was just that. I'm not sure. I'm just nervous because I would lose time anyway. Okay, thank you so much.
Time. Enkosi Ziyanda, sukoyika ke mama, ngaba wena nje sithethe isiXhosa sitshone kuyo. Sukoyika mama.
All right.
Gotcha. Thanks, Z. Anyone else?
Hello, everyone. Kenzani here. At first, I didn't know how
Kenzani.
to. I didn't know how to view money. I viewed it as everything to me, an enemy, a partner, a friend, a colleague, basically a spectator sometimes, depending on the kinds of emotions or state I'm at. It could be anything. But during the group discussion, I was in room 9. Coach Sia said something very important to me that I think I will take on. He said that he viewed money as a trusted colleague and a resource for creating value and a tool for solving problems. I think for me, that really spoke to me, that using money as a tool to solve your problem actually give you guidance in terms of what to do with that money to make it more resourceful to you and your business. Thank you.
Thank you, Kenzani. And then anyone else wants to share a habit or two that they're going to develop?
Hello.
Hi, Zama.
So I was in room 1, and what we talked about was being able to save and create a budget and sticking to it. And also in terms of being able not to, focus on things that are wants, but rather focus on the needs when it comes to business, even personal as well. So that was really key for us. And then as well, when it comes to the relationship, both the ladies said that the money is their colleagues, so they work with the money. So, and then Mina, I said that I've got an interchanging relationship with money. So it's not a permanent relationship, and nayo imali iyayazi into yoba eyethu i-relationship ayikho 100% stable, so ngenye imini we can be friends, and then on another day it can be a spectator as well, where the money is just sitting there and watching me, especially after this training. Ukuthi, are you really learning? I want to see, ukuthi, are you really going to use me to fulfill the vision that you have? Because the money doesn't see what I see. I'm the one who's a visionary. I'm the one who understands where I want to be and what I can possibly do to reach there. So as much as it's coming in and sitting there, provided ukuthi I don't spend it and then I use it wisely. So those are the key things that we talked about. And yeah, I think the rest is just a matter of implementing a little by little, step by step, because as we know, even Rome was not built in one day. So we have to adopt a few things and grow with it, and eventually those little steps we take then will become the overall progress in our development. Thank you.
Enkosi ke mntana wakaRhade. Well said. Thank you very much. And yes, and it's interesting because when I say spectator, even the question that comes to mind is always like, what does it mean for the money to be spectator? She said something, but anyway, any thoughts, Sis Nomvuyo?
Yeah, I think Uzama summarized it well, very well in one statement when she says, money does not see what I see. So, and Usia also advised one of the coaches of the entrepreneurs to understand that money is a tool. So it cannot be a friend. It cannot be a colleague. It cannot be your boss. It cannot even be a spectator, because it is a tool. You are the leader of money. It must be a servant. It must be a servant. You are the one who has to tell it where to go. You are because when it's a friend, yes, it's a friend, but you have to lead it. You have to lead money. So that's what I want to put just out there. How can you lead the money when you do your budgets? And I'm so happy that for everyone that has said anything, they understand that budgeting is important, saving is important. And I just want to add to say, remember, in your budget, there is also money for fun. And in your budget, there's also money for fun, so that you reward yourself for the work that you have done. So
Correct.
there's money, you budget money that you are going to save, but you also budget the money that you are going to spend and enjoy and have fun and buy your nice earrings, Tobek. So you budget that as well. So money is a servant, you lead it. Thank you.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Sis Novoyo. And talking about numbers and bucks, and as Amanda will be unmuting herself in a moment. I'm very happy to hear everyone responding and being active and involved. And on that note, Amanda, what's happening with the busy bucks? How are people? Who's around? What they doing?
Okay, hi. The slide's
Hi.
gone. So
Yeah,
I'm
don't
not
worry. Keep going. It'll come through just now. Keep going though.
okay. I don't know the busy bucks leaderboard in my head, but okay, thanks, Christoph. So as we know and we've discussed, you only get busy bucks if you do the following within the time frame that's prescribed and by deadlines. So attending your workshops and your peer forums and your coaching sessions and submitting the tracker for your coaching sessions, you get your busy bucks and by deadline, and attending by a minimum of 60 minutes for the workshops and the peer forums, and then completing your post-workshop quiz, which is very important, guys. It's a very important part of the learning journey, is the post-workshop quiz and your assignments, and of course your feedback forms, which we do at the end of every cycle. So after this peer forum will be the next feedback form for you guys to complete. And onto the leaderboard.
Oh, wonderful.
So
here's some names.
Yeah, I don't want everyone to panic if your name's not there. It just means that your busy bucks is below 170 busy bucks. And remember that your time is money. So submitting things on time and attending the workshops and the peer forums earns you busy bucks, which will be awarded at the end of the program in the equivalent Rand value of data. So well done to you guys on the leaderboard. You're obviously committed and working very hard on the program, but I know everyone is, and sometimes things happen and we can't always do what is prescribed, but it's all about the effort, isn't it?
Yeah. And guys, life, what you put in is what you'll get out. And when I say put in, what is truth, what is honest, what is clear, what is clean that you put out will come out. So I know sometimes we are all struggling with time, and we're like, okay, let me just put on the app that I'm online, but actually really I'm not involved, I'm not active. Be careful to put out that kind of shortcuts that we think we just want to have a shortcut just to tick the box so that I can get this money. Is it truthful? Is it honesty? Is it integrity? Depending on your values. So therefore, will you attract it even? So really just be honest and don't worry about the next person. Don't say, but this is how it is. You know yourself. You do what's right for you that you'll be proud about. So please don't say, yes, you've attended, but truly, truly, you haven't attended because you haven't participated. These things have a way of catching up. I'm just saying.
Oh, yes.
It's coming from love, but also recognition of we need to take ownership. I don't know what you think, Amanda. But
No,
yeah,
I think you're spot on. Integrity is a very important part of business and of doing what you say and saying what you do. For sure. Exactly. So
yeah,
well done, guys. I mean, you guys are very inspirational to me.
awesome.
And
And the
then we
WhatsApp
move.
community, how's that going? How's that
Oh, I'm
going?
loving it. I'm going to tell you, I've said it before, but I don't know if I'm giving the passion to what I actually feel in that I'm watching everyone communicating. And I mean, when we started the program, no one knew each other. None of
Mhm.
us knew each other. Any of us, the coaches and the participants and the teams and seeing how everyone knew each other out. It's so inspirational. And I hope that gets across how passionate I feel about that, because it really is a beautiful thing to see. And it's a relatively short time, and we've all gotten to know each other really well. And it's
Wonderful.
impressive. And I think this WhatsApp community is definitely what has been the glue in keeping us all connected. Yeah.
Thank you. Wonderful. And
Okay.
then on that note, we are now going into networking. Anything you want to say, Sasnon Vuya, before we get into the
I just
networking, I
want to
think?
clap hands for the hard workers. Let's clap hands.
Thank you.
100%.
Clap, 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 clap,
100%.
clap.
Clap hands for the top 15. Well done. Well done, guys.
Masishayeleni izandla. Let's clap them hands. Thank you very much. Yes, keep it up. Put in what you want to get out, and things will follow you. It might not follow you now, but you're creating the foundation for the future. Always remember that. I think I say that because sometimes I've seen this thing happen. Now, in the WhatsApp group in the community, we asked, what does networking mean to you? How can we build our network? Yeah, that's the next big question.
Mm,
How was that? How
exactly.
did that question go? Over to
You
you,
know,
Amanda.
I don't think we actually put this into the WhatsApp group, but what I love is the prep questions that we get for the forums and the workshops, because they make me think about things I may never have reflected on. You
Mhm.
know, my relationship with money. What does network mean to me? So I'd like to talk about the power of networking and how you can leverage your WhatsApp community to create lasting connections beyond this program. So this is a unique opportunity to build a strong and supportive network. But what does networking mean to you? I can't speak for you, I can speak for me. What it means to me is it's about building relationships that support us on our business or personal journey, sharing experiences, knowledge, resources, and encouragement. Um, just this morning, Metsa asked for the workbook, and within minutes, Sholofelo D delivered and popped the workbook into the WhatsApp group, and that's support. That's part of being a supportive network. But it's more than just collecting a bunch of contacts. It's about creating a community that learns and grows together. And as we continue on this journey, I encourage you to be active in the WhatsApp groups, which most of you have been, and share your insights, ask questions, and support each other. Every interaction strengthens your community. And this is your space to connect, and keeping that momentum after the program ends is key. So how can you keep the network thriving beyond our time here? What are your ideas for maintaining these valuable connections? I'd love to hear your thoughts. Put them in the text chat. I'd love to see what you guys think that you can do to maintain these valuable connections that you're making on this program beyond the program, and how we can stay a strong community. So together, let's make the WhatsApp community a powerful tool for growth and elevate our businesses to new heights. And that's how I feel about networking. Yeah, Tobeka?
Great. Thank you. Thank you so much, Amanda. A lot of what you just said, yes, it's very well with me. I resonate with it. And it's a continuous journey. And sometimes you network now, it doesn't come to flourish immediately, but later down the line, it connects. So it's a journey. It's
100%.
not a once-off event. It's a continuous thing.
And that's why
yeah,
maintaining the relationships is so critical, and building relationships so that you can 2 years down the line bump into someone and go, hey, remember when we discussed the thing? And then things happen.
yeah. Any thoughts, Christoph?
I've got
Before we go to the
lots
breakout.
and lots and lots and lots of thoughts. Yeah, but I think as entrepreneurs, that's one of our key competencies. If you are unable to connect with other people, you are going to struggle to be successful as an entrepreneur. Even introverts, but by the way, the studies show that introverts are better entrepreneurs than extroverts. All the big
Really?
entrepreneurs are introverts.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
But
Wonderful.
they've got the skill to connect with other people. And I think that's what networking is about. So I'm looking forward to a discussion. Yeah, also in session 8 of the workshops, we're going to talk a bit more about convincing other people of supporting us. But yeah, networking is a special place. It's where we can connect and learn from others that are in the same situation to us. And but perhaps that first step of overcoming the fear, I'm not sure if you guys feel that often. Tobeka doesn't feel it because she walks into the room and she takes over the energy.
Christoph, that's very valid. Overcoming the fear. And that's a big
Actually, the
challenge for
opposite,
some
the
people.
opposite of fear is courage, right? So how do you then go through fear is to step into courage. And that's what I've just learned. So there is always fear. It's just then I'm like the voice of fear, because we have this voice that comes of fearfulness. Then you're like, okay, I need to step into courage so that I make it happen.
And that ties back to breaking habits.
Yeah. So I'm not an expert in networking, but I've worked with a lot of entrepreneurs in my time as a coach, as a program facilitator. But I started off being an entrepreneur myself, and getting into rooms with other people and thinking, what is it that I must take away from this? Feeling kind of the pressure. And I think what I realized later on when I started learning about coaching is that a question about someone else and what they are about is perhaps more powerful than me trying to sell myself.
Yeah.
So that's the thought that if amongst all the thoughts, I think that, so I'm not sure how that resonates with everyone else. Perhaps you guys can talk a bit about when we have the breakout, sort of how asking others about them at events that we go to or places that we connect, and then responding to what they share about themselves, sort of something that's exciting for them that they want in their lives, or problem that they have, and how I can perhaps contribute towards the solution. But first, to allow some other people to speak and ask them about, people are strange in this way. Is they love to speak about themselves. So if you start off a conversation by asking someone else now, sort of not only what is the product that you make and how you sell it, sort of how did it happen that you do this, and why do you do this and not something else, and
yeah,
sort of something personal even, sort of what is the happiness that you get from doing this, sort of people love to respond to those kind of questions.
Great, thank you. Thank you so much, Christoph. So now you're going to put us in the breakout. I've already put the question in the chat that we would love for everyone to explore. So let's network like pros, I guess. And the question that's in the chat already, as usual, introduce yourself quickly and each other, and then have a time to connect. Discuss the question, what do you see these events? What do you find leads to new relationships or more sales? What you've learned you should prevent? Huh? And what you learned you should prevent doing when networking. Yeah. And then agree on a list of 3 tips of networking like a pro. Type the tips in the chat and press enter every time. Just keep pressing enter as you put those. Don't wait till the end. Okay. And identify ways that the entrepreneurs on this program may keep supporting each other. How you want to keep supporting each other. So please make sure you get to do this. it's around which tips can you use to network like a pro, right? And how can we keep supporting each other? So that is how. Just give us some feedback on around this answering this question on tips, and then how can we keep supporting each other? And now this is a future question for ourselves that's here, like, in the near future after our next workshop, 2 workshops down the line, give or take. How do we support each other? How does that then continue? So let me know. Looking forward to some feedback. Please feel free to unmute. And I would love to hear some voices of what came out in that breakout around networking. I see. Let me go. Tando. Let me share the product offering so it can create relationship and impact on sales growth. Okay, so that's Tando's tip number. I don't know why she says #3, but I'm assuming it's room 3.
Let me just explain. Sorry, I was just wanting to say that I was on group number 3. Sorry for that.
Okay.
So basically,
Awesome, Tando.
that's the tip. Yes, that's the tip that I had on the events that I'm attending. So all the time, I always bring my product with, so that I can be able to showcase it to some of the networkers that are there around, and then be able to offer them and show them what we can be able to provide for them. And then by doing so, it creates a relationship, and also it creates also a sales growth as well, because you can be able to be in your area, and some people cannot be interested in the same product that you are bringing all the time. So if you give somebody else, then it can be able to create another impact area where you can be able now to be able to do more sales on that area. I believe so.
Great. Thank you. Anybody else?
Hi guys, sorry. Hi, sorry for coming in like this, but I wasn't in one of the groups. I was kind of locked out for a minute there, but I did get the question. So I feel like networking is quite an important thing because it helps us to enlighten more people about our line of business. More especially me, I'm in the line of business where we are doing recycling, and we are coming in with something that is very much new. Most people are not enlightened towards making bricks out of plastic. So it helps us to get more customers, to get more people gain interest on buying the products and actually knowing what our products can do and what problems does it solve going forward in terms of us as a country going forward, since we are suffering from waste issues and also economical issues. So it helps us to get more stakeholders and also gain more people who will be interested in quite helping us into becoming the business that we want to be going forward. Yeah.
Great.
Oh,
Thank you.
and lastly, I'd like to thank everyone for the support that you've shown me over the past few weeks. It has been quite a tough year for me. Losing 2 family members in 1 year is not a good thing, but I feel like I have gained strength in the type of family that I've gained through this program. Thank you so much, guys.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Musa. And that's what community is about. It's really about us supporting each other in all sorts of environments. And I'm happy that you felt the love and that happened and you got the support from new friends that we've only met online. Thank you very much, Musa. Over to you, Mr. George. Feel free to.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone, for the opportunity. Yeah, I just wanted to share what we discussed in Group 5. We spoke about one tip being an icebreaker. When you go to events, don't wait for someone else to come to you. Be an icebreaker. And also, one other thing is to go there with a positive mind, whether you're attending an event online or be it physical. You know, sometimes you can be easily discouraged by people you meet there saying, these people are not giving us lunch and all that. So it's going there with a positive mind. You actually going there to learn, not to expect everything in return. And also, we discussed what Christoph has been saying to open the platform to people hearing about your product. You know, it's different when I come to you and I say I'm selling clothes, blah 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 blah, and another person might say, okay, but when you start prompting the person of what they are doing and how they are feeling about what they are doing, automatically at some point, emotionally, they will want to know what you are also doing on your end. So we were discussing around all those 3 points, breaking the ice, positive mindset, and actually prompting. It's like prompting a client about their need in order to be able to fulfill them at the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much. All right. I know there was some interesting insights in the chat, but I mean, we can really go on and on, but I was just wondering maybe this is a good segue for us to go on and have coach. But Christoph, you have a thought before we have the coach corner?
Yeah, before we get to
Go
that,
ahead.
there's perhaps an important point here, and I see the point of that the breakouts, we just get going and then the time is up. So, I think there are 2 platforms that we've created here in the program that we can maybe quickly chat about, Tobeka, because it's not limited to implementation party like EPI facilitating networking. Networking can be organic. It can be entrepreneur networks or between entrepreneurs. They don't necessarily need someone else to facilitate that. So I saw some mention of entrepreneur networks, sort of township-based networks, BNI, sort of whatever the network is that's appropriate for you, or the association. There are also associations around specific things in specific industries, sort of. I think that's important for us to maybe just pause on quickly. How can we, this connection that we talk, sort of the support that we can give each other on the WhatsApp group that we have, the community, and in the breakaways that we have here, sort of what are there any concrete suggestions in terms of what can be done, definitely while the program is still remaining, but even after that, and it doesn't have to be the EPI or CISA Foundation organizing it. It can be us as entrepreneurs organizing things too. Any ideas perhaps on that front?
Wonderful. Good question. Please feel free to unmute.
So,
Hi, Zama.
Ashford put a plea in for more time. So I'm not sure what it is. Ashford, what are your thoughts on that? How can we achieve that?
Greetings, everyone. I don't know if you guys are able to hear me.
Yes, we can very well.
All right, thank you. Greetings once again. I was thinking maybe if we could possibly extend the time on our breakaways, maybe have at least one for the whole session, maybe in one, maybe close to 45 minutes or so, just for one that we're just going to be talking to each other in groups, if possible. Because now I'm noticing that since we're having these 2 breakaways, we are not really connecting all of us, because some people come in late, some people have connection problems, and then we end up not even finishing the whole conversation that we're supposed to be having, or the whole questions that we are being asked. So I don't know if that would be possible, maybe in the future running or something like that. I don't know, but I think maybe more time would be possible, if possible. But yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Ashford. It's a good problem to have. And it's always one of those situations of how do we organize and self-organize as well. So I think I'll put it back to you and say, okay, what is something you can do? Because this is just a little touch. And from here, then, if there is someone you want to connect with even more, you take note and say, hey, let's connect again, number one. Number two, it's good to hear that you're having that problem, because some of the groups don't even talk at all and they don't use the time. So it's nice. It's a nice little balance that we need to play. And you have people who are like, oh, we finish, and then they come and then they're quiet for the rest of the minutes. So I'm just sharing what's out there, right? And you're probably thinking, what do you mean? Then they sit and they're quiet. Some people are like, I know we've already answered the questions. And then they're quiet. And then you have people like you are like, oh my God, I would love to have more. So thank you for sharing. We're not going to solve the problem. I know you want to respond to that. And I'm putting it back to you to think and put it in their WhatsApp group and say, what can we do, right? And create that, because I want to make sure we learn something from Miss Lee here, who's our coach. But that's what we're navigating as EPI, as a CISA, are those things, and we just do the best we can. But I love it. Thank you for sharing your challenge. It's an exciting one, which means it'll be a good solution that you'll all come up with in the WhatsApp group. On that, Miss Lee, how are you doing? Have you unmuted? I'll hand you over to have some conversation with the Coach Corner on tips to form new habits. How do we form these new habits? And I think you have about 10 minutes. I'll leave you to that. And if System will have a conversation with you, or Putsiso, please feel free to chirp in over here. Over to you.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Tobeka. It's such a pleasure being on this program. Hi, entrepreneurs. I see a few of my guys as well, and everyone else I haven't met. I think I've got the most exciting job in the world, which is to talk about money. Hi, adorable. So, I was asked to share on a few practical tips regarding money. And I always want to cringe when I talk about money and tips, because I think to myself, is there a tip that I can give you that would be a magic wand that will change your finances? And the reality is, similar to entrepreneurship, there isn't a magic wand, but the mind is where it all begins. And all of us will agree that our entrepreneurial ventures began in the mind. You had to think about it first, right? So you didn't just wake up in the morning and say, if you're selling sweets and you had a packet of sweets sitting on the table, you had to think about it. You had to put in a bit of thought. You had to put in a bit of thinking about the processes, who are my clients, etc. And we're quite fortunate in that we're doing that very exercise on this L+EARN program. So I think tip number one for your money mindset is really just going back. It's going back and thinking about your money history. What has influenced the way that you think about money today? So think about how you grew up. Did you grow up in grandmother's house where you saw, like me, an entrepreneurial grandmother who, sold eggs, sold ice cream, anything to put food on the table? Did you grow up in a place where there was abundance and you don't really know how money came about, but it was just there and there was never lack? Did you grow up in a place where you didn't have enough and your fear is, I may never have enough? So I say that, but spend time. Start today, spend time today thinking about 10 minutes, even if it's 5 minutes every day. Just think about your money history. What has influenced me? Is the way that I spend my money coming from a place of fear, is of not having enough, or is it coming from a place of fear that, or a place of wanting validation? I spend money because I've got friends that can validate me as the person who makes it rain when they're around. So I'd love for you, tip number one, to spend time thinking about that. And then equally important, right? And I think we've done that in this program, more than goals or in addition to goals, write down your vision. You have to write down your vision. You have to write down your vision, because if you're not standing for something, you are honestly going to fall for anything. And my dad, when I was growing up, I grew up in a family of girls. And my father used to say to me, you must never fall in love, my girls. It's the most stupid thing you do. You stand in love. You don't fall and hit your head and stop thinking, So You've also got to stand with your money. But what are you standing on? What is that one thing that you're saying, this is the vision for my life? And the vision for your life doesn't have to necessarily be you want to live in a mansion. Maybe you want to be a digital nomad and travel and run your business remotely from another country. Maybe the vision for your life is to get married and have kids. Hashtag all of you that want children. They don't cost R1. You know, that's probably one of the biggest expenditures that you are not even guaranteed a return on that expenditure. In fact, write it off because it's gone. You know, so if that's part of your vision, write it down. Where is that? Because even the relationships that you're going to be having, if you are like me and you are married to someone and you both decided you don't want children, that was in line with my vision. And everything that I did centered around that, you know, so writing down your vision as well will also determine the kind of friends that you want to keep in your circle. That's the third one. Do a relationship audit. Who is who in your life? Who is Thobeka? Is Thobeka that friend that always wants us to go out to expensive places? Is Coach Sia the kind of person that always wants us suited up and renting clothing to go to weddings? Who is who in your life, and how are they influencing how you're spending your money? Do you have a mother that has put you through school, or a parent that sacrificed, or a neighbor, or a someone that kind of feels like, you know, it's payback time now, Leboheng. It's payback time. I put you through school. What are we going to do about this? Write them down. That's the nature. That's how they understand you to be in their lives. And that will influence what you think and what you do about your money. Another one is, if you are in a relationship and you are planning on keeping this relationship for forever, money is not an option. You must start talking about it. So in that relationship, how's the conversation about money coming up? Relationship audit. Does your partner have expectations that, look, I'm a lady, I'm Lee, you are going to take care of me, and my money is mine, but your money is ours? Right. So what do we say about those things? What are your thoughts about those things? So relationship audit, very, very important. And then lastly, and you'll notice that I haven't started with the budget. I haven't started with the spending plan, because that's for me the last part. The last part after you've done all of this is going to influence how you spend your money. And let me give you an example. If you are someone that loves rugby, and tomorrow morning you are sitting, let's say, with 2,000 Rand in your bank account, and you hear that New Zealand is coming tomorrow, I promise you, even if that's your last 2,000 Rand and it was money for food, you are going to buy that ticket for New Zealand. But if you had known that about yourself, that, look, my vision is actually to one day go to the Rugby World Cup in New Zealand, and New Zealand's coming to me, it's a no-brainer that I'm going to spend this money. And then you look at it another way and say, look, but how am I going to recover that money? Because I really need this money. I'm really going to spoil myself this time, but how am I going to recover? How am I going to land? So having a look at these things will allow you to draw up what we call an empowering spending plan. Your spending plan should empower you and steer you towards your vision. It's an empowerment thing. It's, you know, it's no longer, budgets are no longer those things that you write down and then you put in between your Bible and you start praying for it, that God, you see, must make it happen. No. We're not living in that era anymore. That was our grandmothers. Budgets are not those things that you put on a fridge and on the magnet and you say, one day, guys, this is going to happen. No, it's a spending plan that's empowering you. And what you will start seeing is that, and it's not, so when I say write down your vision, have it at a practical place. We've got phones now. Have it at a practical place so that you just keep reminding yourself when that temptation comes. And don't be hard on yourself. The temptations will come. I'm coaching someone that has a total weakness for clothing. And we've said, right, let's write it down. Let's not acknowledge it. Let's say, what about clothing do you like? Oh, I love thrifting. I love this. I love that. Okay, so can we put a system in place and say you're only going to a thrifting thing once a month now? And as income starts coming and you start earning a salary from your business, maybe you can go twice a month. Actually, why don't you start thrifting? Because then you're going to have so many clothes. You know, so the vision is there. The assessing the relationships. One person said, I spend so much when I'm sitting with my friends over a weekend. My question to you is, what is your weekend? Where's that line item in your spending plan that says, ubumnandi, I'm making it rain this weekend. Where is it? Because then you won't be caught by surprise. You know, where we are now sitting in October, each and every one of us should actually have our key December boss spending plan already. Day by day, from the 16th of December until the 7th of January, day by day. This is what I'm spending. I'm buying a bottle of wine. I'm having a braai on the 17th. I'm buying Christmas clothing on this day. I'm day by day. We should all have that by now. But it's empowering because you can look forward to it. It's no longer intimidating because you know that, look, you know, this is what I'm working towards. And lastly, learn to pay yourself first. What do I mean by that? I don't mean in terms of a salary. I mean, whatever you get in, right? Some people believe in doing good. So some people believe in taking 10% of what they earn and doing good with it. You should be the next 10%. Do good for yourself. And that is a saving mechanism that you can implement for yourself. I get in 10%. I pay myself first my 10%. I put it away and I forget about it. It's my do good fund. And that fund, as it builds up, will start ticking off various things in my vision. And I think I'll leave it at that for now. Just my last thoughts on networking. You are in the best platform ever to begin networking here. And I'm so glad Utobeka sent the question back around, can we have more time? The challenge from me is, who have you networked with here? Not necessarily to buy your products, but have you raised ambassadors for your business within this program? There's about 100 of us here. Why am I not talking about George's business? Because we haven't taken the time to network with each other. I may not buy from him, but I may know someone who knows someone who will buy from him. Thank you so much, everyone. Thanks. This is Nombuyo and Tobeka. I'll leave it at that.
Thank you, sis Coach Lee. You December boss budget. 15th December, 16th
Yes.
December to the 7th of Jan.
100%.
You know, it's so true because to be honest with you, I hate this time. I've come to a point where I don't like this time because it's a silly 3-4 weeks that we go through. And then ka January, everyone is stressed. Like, I'm like, we go through the same thing over. And maybe I'm tired of it because I'm 48, being there, did that. So lived my 20th. And I'm like, it's not worth the stress at the end. But thank you for that. Sis Nomvuyo, over to you. I can see you want to say something.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's 13:56, so it's time for us to close. Yeah, but wow, I mean, Lee, yes, what what thoughts, final thoughts. Someone even said, "Oh, Ndlovukazi, Ndlovukazi." That was very insightful. Thank you so much. You know what I have taken, Tobeka, from this is the relationship audit, you know, because we learn from everything. I like the relationship audit. And I personally am going to do it now when we leave, you know, because it is just so important to have that relationship audit so that you continually surround yourself with those people that you uplift and they uplift you too. So it's a mutual thing. You uplift
each other.
You grow together. So thank you so much. Do we have last thoughts from Rashida?
Yeah, Rashida, over to you. I've already copied and pasted everything.
Perfect. Thank you so very much. Okay. So powerful words today. And these are the things that really help us break up our barriers. When we bring these out, put them out there, and we all together decide, okay, we're going to tackle this together. Very inspiring session today. I'm so grateful to be a part of this. And maybe my final thought is just to remember that money can come and go, right? But time lost can never be gained. So I've learned that the more you value how you spend your time, almost always it directly links to how you grow your money, how you build your wealth. There's a very direct relationship. So
those two go hand in hand, and I'll leave it at that. So on to speaking about time, right? It is your upcoming dates and deadlines. So we are at the end of cycle 3, which means there's only one more cycle left with us. So you'll have 2 more workshops, 2 more assignments, 2 more quizzes, 1 more participant feedback form, and 1 more coaching session for those of you who've already had your cycle 3. Then you will be very happy to note that later on, we'll share some more details, but on the 15th of November, in fact, sorry, let's start with the 13th of November. So on the 13th of November, we are going to do a content refresher workshop. So some of you may have missed some things, or maybe you want to rehash certain things that we've already covered. So everybody will attend in the content refresher workshop. Then we will have a Being Fundable group coaching. So we will be having some of our coaches who will join you entrepreneurs in the session, and we'll basically assign a coach to each group like we do in the breakaways, and we'll go through some thoughts and ideas and discussions around being fundable. And then on the 19th of November, and again, we'll give you much more details as time goes on, but you will be required to submit a video pitch because as Noboyo said earlier, there'll be awards at the end of this program. And then last but not least, which is a new thing, is our mental well-being session. The details of that have not really been set in stone, but that is coming up in the 20th of November. It will be all of us together. We'll bring in some experts to talk about some of the challenges that we have faced as a collective, and we see how we can actually get the tools and the coping mechanisms to deal with some of the challenges we've been going through. And then, of course, last event for the year will be your closeout event, which is going to be where we do the award ceremony. And of course, we're going to celebrate all that you have achieved all together in this forum. In fact, we are going to be inviting people from ABSA, there'll be people from Assisa Foundation, there'll be really, we're trying to get as much stakeholders involved in this last event. So you'll have some time to network, get to know each other, and also for us to showcase you, right, and what you have achieved. So that's coming up at the 27th of November. So just to remind you, if you have already had your coaching session for this cycle, please do complete the participant feedback form straight after the session. If you have not yet had your coaching session, of course, then make sure once that is complete, you then complete the session, the participant feedback form. Your last sessions should be no later than Friday. I'm expecting everybody to have submitted the participant feedback form by Friday, if possible. But that's it from me. Thank you so much. Back to you, Dominica.